what we did was we went file plot and continue here, and we went to the drawing to PDF. We went A1 full bleed. Make sure you do the full bleed. There was a student in the last class didn't actually have full bleed, and it was very obvious to me they hadn't done it right. You don't have to do the monochrome, but it's always a good practice to make it black and white, especially if you're printing to a black and white printer. 1-to-1, on your home computers it may not go to 1-to-1, might go to 0.3 something or other. Change it to 1-to-1. It's just a bit of a warning because you know, you need to be watching out for that anyway. Apply to layout and cancel. So you end up with your viewport like that, and I pretty much get it ready for the title block to go in. I went inside here, double clicked, and we'll take care of that in a minute to the right scale. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Then I went insert, this is the important bit, insert block palette. And this palette here came up. Go to libraries and open block libraries and grab the title block which you've already saved off Moodle, which is this one. Looks like that, and go open. Open. There we are. So it spent like 10 or 15 minutes before it regendered my drawing. Last night it was still not doing it after 20 minutes, but I'm doing that to tell you that once it's in there, you hold your left mouse on it and slide it across and drop it in the drawing. It's as simple as that. Okay. Double click on the text to change it to whatever you want to make it. Have a look at my example drawings because they have got the correct things to put on the title block. The remarks for putting the title block in correctly, for doing everything correctly, so make sure you're quite fastidious with what you do there. In terms of the title block itself, what I often do here for students is I pretend that the title block is in there. It's actually looks sort of something like this. And I put a line down from about there to here. I copy that line along, and there's a reason why I'm doing this, you'll see in a minute. Over here is where the logo goes, and there's two lots of titles in there. So first up, you want to dock that on there, and you want to dock, when I say dock, make it perfectly docked on the corner. Let's just say it wasn't quite docked, so it was over there. Then you stretch that back and drop it on the corner there. Now we're going to set this to the viewport that we're after. The viewport scale, Z enter 1000 / 100 XP. And I know a lot of you just went 10 XP because I saw you doing it. It's not a good habit to get into. If you put both those numbers in there, you're always going to get it right. Anyway, where are we? We don't want that bit. We want it from about there to there. The pipe starts there and goes to around here somewhere. So that's perfect. Escape. Double click over there. Now, the next step in this is we go copy that from that point on top of itself. Enter. So we've got two viewports, one on top of the other. The top one, we stretch it from there to there, and we click on it again, and we stretch that from there to there. So now we've got two viewports, that one and that one. They should be the same scale, 10 XP, because they should be, but it doesn't hurt to go list. Now when I'm checking your drawings, I set that to 9 decimal places. And if you are 10.00001, or your 9.999999, you will see on your marking on the right hand side a little wee red mark called -1 for each viewport. Okay? So before you copy it, make sure it's the right scale. Trying to get you into good industry habits. Some people say that's really, really mean, marking like that, but where do I stop? Do I let you away with 11 XP? Do I let you away with 5,000 XP? Where do I, to me, if it's wrong, it's wrong, right? And it's teaching good habits, because I remember once putting a scale rule on a drawing that one of my guys had done. He was adamant everything was perfect, and it just wasn't working. You know, the length was different. The guys on site were ringing up saying you've got the wrong length. You know what? He'd done his viewport wrong. He'd brought the scale up too much or too little. Right, and we went round and round and round and round in circles and found that was the problem. The title blocks matched up perfectly. Everything matched up, the logos. It was the scale of the drawing was wrong. And in AutoCAD, you know, well, and in industry, let's face it, if they're looking at making staff redundant, do you keep the staff member on that is continuously mucking up the viewport? Or do you say, sorry, but we're going to have to give you a little bit of gardening leave, and, you know, perhaps we'll see you back in the future. They're pretty harsh, because I'll give you an example. I put a manhole 100 mil over on someone's boundary. It doesn't sound like much. Manhole. It wasn't even the manhole. Sorry, it wasn't the lid. The lid was fine. The manhole's 1080, and it was 100 mil over a boundary. The contractor got told immediately to move it. That cost was just over 10 grand to move it. They had to get a truck out, they had to lift it. That was under power poles, they had to move it and everything. $10,000 was charged back to our office because I carelessly made a mistake of 100 mil over the boundary. So you are dealing with big money when you're talking about civil engineering. That's why I'm lecturing here, not working in industry anymore. No, it's not. Now, my title block still hasn't done anything, so I'm going to now show you what a good idea here is with this viewport here. So I talk about the bar in Bangkok and the hand in Maradona. Just remember the hand, that's all you need to do. And just remember to move it to the side with the hand, and you'll never have any problems. If I click on that viewport again, and I list it, 10 XP, right? Incidentally, don't look down here. A lot of students have noticed that 10, I'm gonna move this. Damn thing won't move now. It might do. There we are. Okay. There's a number 10 sometimes appears down the bottom here when you click on your viewport. So let's click on here. And there you see the number 10 along the bottom. That's a rounded number. So always check your viewport before you check the 10, all right? And once you've got it correct, lock it up. Right click on it, and if you're happy with it, go to display lock and go yes, and you can never lose one mark now from Roger. Okay, it's a really good tip, that one. Display lock, yes. Ha, Roger, you're never going to get me half a mark off, right? Meanwhile, inside here, we're going to draw a rectangle. Now I want you to delete this rectangle when you're finished doing your notes and your other bits and pieces in here. Okay, don't leave it there, that's sloppy drafting, but what I am doing is I now know that that is going to be in model space. There it is there. perfect place to do my notes, survey data, locality plan, and I know it's going to appear. And the good thing is it's the same scale, 1 to 100, so that means that any text type can still be the same. Using 3.5 or 5 for there, will still come through at the same scale on the A1. Logo, not sure if I showed you that last week, let's have a go at that. So in order to put the logo in, we go insert, raster image, just think of, just go to raster image. I saved it to the desktop, there it is. Go open, and OK, and this might freeze when I put it in, it happened last time. Click here, and go enter. It's not quite perfect, click once, click there, and you can change it to dock it into the perfect spot. Now sometimes the logo will be transparent, you can see through it. Sometimes it will be on top of the title block. I like to see it on top. You can actually go click on it and go format, where is it? Tools, draw order, and you can bring anything from the front to the back in AutoCAD. Tools, draw order, bring to the front, send to the back. Now when you put your logo on, you'll be able to see it, right? You'll bring it into Unitec, you'll open it up on the computer, and you won't see the logo. But you'll see a line, which will be a path, which will be relative to back to your home computer when you put it on, right? So if you've got some silly paths, like I can imagine students thinking that I'm fantastic, so the path will be C drive, Roger's great, fantastic subject, blah, 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 and then that'll appear there quite nicely. Then there's the opposite to the students that don't like me. They are the ones that I have a really good laugh at, especially the swear words. So I'll have a good giggle at that too, and then I'll take half a mark off after that. Just be aware that path will appear on my drawing, all right? I can see some students going, ooh, that's interesting. But I mark this according to where your box is. So if this logo here is perfect, on the right spot, that's all I want to see, right? Incidentally, in industry, they already have all their logos normally in one folder, and when you open AutoCAD, it understands that. I didn't show the last class this, but you might be interested in this, I don't know. You know when you put in your OP and you put in your ARG file, and you go across here to profiles, if you go here to files, there's all these paths that you didn't know existed. Now a lot of them are linked up to Unitec, which means that there are different things flowing into AutoCAD that help you out with your drawings. In a company situation, they have other paths in there, right? So the path, they will put all their logos for Becker, Carter, Fletcher's, whatever, into one folder, and your drawing will page that when you open it, and it'll automatically come in. It's pretty cool, pretty clever. Also, the XREF paths for cross-reference drawings, so it could be a survey drawing that's put somewhere, and that'll come into the background of your drawing as well. So you can actually have other drawings inside your drawings, but they're not really there, they're just pathed in temporarily. When we give AutoCAD to clients, we tend to package it all up in one big package, including your logo and XREF drawings, and we send it off a bit like a courier parcel, so that when they open it, all these things come into their drawing. So that's the logo, that's how that works. Unfortunately, We have still got a regenning title block, so I can't put that in there. But many of you so far in this class have managed to do that, which is good. It is very simple. You just hold your mouse down and you drag it onto the screen. Okay? For some reason it went instantly on my home computer, but at Unitec I'd do it on your home computer, guys. Did it go pretty quick for you? Yeah, very quick. Very quick, yeah. And did you put the logo in the same directory as the drawing? Did you? The same folder?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for some of you, you've got buses, trains, cars to catch. You might like to make an early exit. I've got another class back in building 114 that starts at 3 o'clock.